All right, good Tuesday evening, everybody. Storm Team 12 Chief Meteorologist Ken South here to tell you that the only weather issue we are going to have for the rest of this week will be fog developing during the overnight and in the morning hours. So we've got kind of juicy air over Mississippi. It's warm and moist. The temperatures at night drop through the 60s and into the upper 50s, and that's going to match the dew point. And whenever that happens, we get clouds forming close to the ground because the air is saturated with moisture at the surface. So clouds on the ground reduce visibility, and that's going to make it kind of tough for the morning commute. If you do have to go to work Wednesday morning, that's going to be an issue anywhere south of Interstate 20. The warm weather, it's going to stick around for the rest of this week. Temperatures in the 50s at night. But once the fog dissipates, we're going to see a lot of sun, and highs are going to be in the 70s to near 80 degrees. We're going to be flirting with record highs over the next several days. By the way, today in Hattiesburg, we tied the record high, the record set back in 1931. So that was almost a 100-year-old record of 80 degrees. And then in Jackson today, we hit 77, 3 degrees shy of our record high of 80, also set back in 1931. So no worries about rain until we get our next front that's going to come through. That'll happen on Sunday. We'll get to that in just a second. First, here's a look at our current conditions. Already you can see the cloud ceiling, if you will, starting to lower out there over the metro. 59 degrees right now. The dew point's at 58. Winds are calm. These are perfect conditions for fog to develop. So the dense fog advisory started at 10 p.m. about 30 minutes ago, and it's going to be in effect for about the next 11 and a half hours until about mid-morning on your Wednesday for the gray shaded area that's along and south of Interstate 20. This is where the visibility could be reduced to a quarter of a mile or less. So if you're going to be out and about pretty early tomorrow, give yourself some extra time. Also leave plenty of space between you and the person out ahead of you, and keep your headlights on low beam. It should be okay. Mid-50s in the morning, and then once the fog dissipates, temperatures climb into the at least mid-70s in the afternoon, and that's with mostly sunny skies and a light south breeze. So there's your high pressure right around the panhandle of Florida, and notice it doesn't really move anywhere. So it's going to keep all these frontal boundaries away from us. The active storm track staying up to the north of us. All the cooler air is going to be bottled up on the north side of those fronts. There you see in Ohio, Indiana, Illinois, winds coming in from the north, but then you reach that boundary, and on the other side of it, winds come in from the south, and that, of course, is where we are. So again, the only issue is going to be at night when we cool down, the fog developing. Each afternoon is going to be really pleasant. Not going to feel like Christmas, but the weather is going to be pretty good. Traveling Wednesday, the day before the holiday, going to be just fine. And then traveling after the holiday on Friday and Saturday is going to be okay as well. Speaking of the holiday, here's a look at Christmas Day in the afternoon. We're looking for 76 degrees. And obviously there's not going to be a white Christmas here, but you know what? There's not going to be a white Christmas pretty much most places over the U.S. You have to go all the way up to New England, New York, Boston, the higher elevations of the Green and the White Mountains in Vermont and New Hampshire. And then in Michigan, mostly in the UP of Michigan is where we have the snow on the ground, northern Wisconsin, the northern half of Minnesota, parts of North Dakota. And then, yeah, of course, in the higher elevations of the Rockies in Colorado, Wyoming, Idaho, Montana, Washington, Oregon. But not even really seeing all that much snow, even in places like Nevada and Utah. So ski resorts, they're not having a good season, or they're not having a good holiday this year. I do think they're having issues with snowpack that just isn't there for those ski resorts. So again, you'd have to go pretty far to see snow on the ground for Christmas Day. For us, we are just going to be challenging those record highs by the end of the week, and then Sunday is going to be our transition day weather-wise. It's the day front comes through with a chance of rain, and then after that we're going to see a big cool down. Tonight, though, not cool at all. About 55 degrees, fog developing overnight. Tomorrow, we'll see mostly sunny skies, a high of 76, a light south wind, your sun setting at 1 minute after 5 o'clock. Temperatures ultimately are going to be in the 60s in the morning, close to 80 in the afternoon. Then Sunday, that's our transition day. The front comes through late in the day with a 40% chance of scattered showers. Right now we are not expecting any big thunderstorms, but there will be a big cool down behind the front. We're going to go from 72 to 46 for a high Monday, and then the next morning, Tuesday morning, we're down to 27 degrees. That's 5 degrees below freezing. So yes, New Year's is going to be cold. New Year's Eve is a week from tomorrow, next Wednesday. Temperatures are going to just be in the 50s in the afternoon and below freezing at night. So at midnight, Wednesday night, I'm thinking it's going to be cold. That's kind of beyond our 8-day forecast, but temperatures are, I think, likely going to be in the 30s at midnight as we ring in 2026. All right, that's going to do it for your forecast tonight. Meteorologist Austin Powell is going to be here first thing in the morning with your next update. Until then, make it a good night.